right, guys, welcome back to another Funded Trader interview. I have with me a special guest here today. His name is Fadi, and he just received a $10,000 payout, managing a $100,000 account. And this month, he's actually up 15% currently. Fadi, if you don't mind, letting us know where you're from.
Hey, Adam, it's good to be here. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee right now. It's where I grew up. My parents moved here from Egypt when I was a kid, and I've been here ever since.
And what's your educational background, Fadi?
I went to undergrad for psychology, and I went to grad school for experimental psychology. So my background is research and statistics.
And what do you do for a living currently?
Currently, nothing but trading for now. So I'm hoping it stays that way.
With that being said, how'd you start out in Forex?
About 5 years ago, I got into crypto. And then I kind of like hit big on like this quick investment. And I was like, man, it would be amazing if I could do this every day. So I started trying to day trade crypto. The first broker I used was actually called Bit7. It didn't even have a stop loss feature. After a few months, I obviously realized that wasn't going to work. And it was hard to just try and trade Bitcoin every day. I needed something more. So got into Forex and, got all the currency pairs. And here I am 5 years later.
And how much time were you dedicating to studying during this 5-year period?
Honestly, man, I'd say like on average, 60 hours a week. Like even when I was in grad school, there were days where I'd have an exam at 7 a.m. I'd be at the library till midnight studying for the exam. Then I'd go home, study trading from like midnight to 7 a.m., then go to my exam after pulling an all-nighter studying trading.
And so with all that studying, what do you wish you did differently?
I wish I knew that psychology was 1,000 times more important than technical analysis. I think I spent the first few years spending way too much time on charts, even after I understood all the basic concepts of technical analysis. So I wish I could go back in time and just focus on the actual process and the emotions of trading and how to handle them rather than just charts 60 hours a week.
And so with that being said, current day, do you find yourself setting alerts or still monitoring the charts a little bit?
I do both. I can monitor from my phone. Sometimes I'm at home most of the time. So, I got the monitors in front of me, just looking at the prices sometimes. And I do set alerts. It just depends on what kind of levels the market is looking at.
And so what is a hard lesson that trading has taught you?
It taught me that things can go really bad, really quick. There were times where I'd be up like, let's say $5,000 by the end of the day. Literally, the account is gone. So I learned that it's got to be slow and steady. And if you keep trying to hit the lottery on every trade, you're not going to get anywhere.
How'd you learn how to deal with that? Being up a good amount and then coming back to break even. That's a difficult thing to do mentally.
Yeah, it made me lose my mind the first few times that it happened because it used to happen all the time, a lot, actually. But over time, with experience, you just realize that if you take it slow and steady, it can actually work out. And then when you begin to actually follow the rules a little bit, and it begins working for you, it's much easier because you have proof that it works. So it's much easier to kind of follow the rules.
Where do you mostly trade? Are you doing it at home at a computer, or are you, I don't know, doing it on your phone on the go?
No, literally right here where I'm sitting right now. I have MetaTrader 4 pulled up on my monitor. I execute trades there. Used to be on my phone until I kind of realized it wasn't as efficient, like I can just move my stop losses very quickly on the monitor. So I enjoy being able to execute quickly, just one click trading, one click closing.
And do you have a trading community outside of the Funded Trader?
No, it's just me really. When I first got started, I got started on baby pips, and then I signed up for Forex League, and then went back to baby pips, and then just kind of sat on the charts for a few years and kind of had to learn it all myself. And it was pretty brutal, but I wish sometimes, I wish I had kind of just buckled down with a mentor. And maybe that would have sped up the process, but it is what it is.
What advice would you give to your former self about trading?
Spend 10 hours on the charts maximum every week. Focus on how you handle open trades, and find a community because trading gets really lonely.
And so what motivated you to become a funded trader in the first place?
I saw that I was getting nowhere, man, trading like $500 accounts, $500 accounts on like Hugo's Way and Posterity FX. You want to turn the 500 into 5,000 in 2 trades on the pound dollar or something. And it's not going to happen 99% of the time. So It's hard to make a living without sufficient capital in trading, and it's really, really hard to scale small accounts. So unless you're like, you have a great job and you can afford to pay all your bills and save a ton of money to actually deposit into your own account, trading likely isn't going to happen for you. So funding firms are the way to go.
And have you ever traded with another funding firm before?
Yeah, I have, and I've received payouts, and I've taken challenges with the funded trader with other firms, and I've blown accounts, and just like almost everyone in this industry, man, it's been a struggle.
And so I guess this is the big question. How many times have you blown an account?
More than I can count. Let's say 15 at least, over like in the first 3 years, at least 15 accounts.
And so that's kind of a good segue into the next question. When you are blowing these accounts, or when you do take a few losses, what do you do to come back stronger from that mentally?
Mentally, I just know that, that I have an edge, that my back testing shows profitability. So I can just trust the process on that. But I actually do something beforehand, which is manage my risk. All I ever heard in Forex was like risk 1%, risk 1%. So that's what I've done for like most of like my amateur trading career. But now I've like gotten more used to like, when I'm at initial balance, I'll risk 0.5%. And then the hits, they don't hit as hard. Like when I got $100,000 account, if I risk 0.5%, that's $500. If I wake up in the morning and I took a trade during London session and I wake up and I lost $500, it doesn't really affect me psychologically as strong as 1,000. So what I do is I manage risk. When I first start off with the initial balance, I'll take $500-$600 positions. And then after I get profit, after I'm in profit, maybe 5 or 6K, I might bump it up to $800, $900, $1,000 per trade.
And so how did you kind of develop this methodology of, managing your risk like that?
I realized that like as good as my psychology got and as it kept improving, I still had a hard time with like over trading or revenge trading or like an itch to be in the markets. So until like I master that, I think the best thing is to take smaller sizes, because on 100K, 12% is 12 trades. If you're risking 1%, that means you can lose 12 trades in a row, which is a lot, but it might happen. Very unlikely, but still might happen. But then if you're risking $500 per trade on 100K, then you have 24 trades until you blow your account.
Would you consider yourself more of a swing trader, intraday trader, or more of a scalper?
Intraday, definitely not a scalper. Intraday and kind of swing. Like I'll hold sometimes if the position's open and stops are in profit and everything else, I'll let it ride for a few days. But most of my trades, I'm probably in and out within like 8 hours or so.
And what's your reasoning behind that?
I found that Forex, as we know, Forex is like the least volatile of all assets. Like, like a currency might move like 1% in a day while a stock moves like 7% a day. You're not going to get that type of move. So, and then you look at the average daily range of some pairs, and it might, like the euro might be like 40 pips. So if I want to swing trade for like 150 pips, it might take a week to get there. But Forex just ranges a lot. There isn't a lot of volatility all the time. There is obviously with some pairs more than others, pound yen, and then that's why people trade index funds like the Nasdaq and US 30. But for me, I enjoy the least volatile pairs. Like CAD yen is my favorite cross pair to trade. I trade it all the time. And I just go for small moves in and out, and I feel like it gives me the best chance of success.
And what would you say your favorite pairs to trade are?
Definitely the majors: dollar, CAD, pound, euro, and Aussie. And then the CAD yen and the euro Aussie are my two favorite crosses. Sometimes I'll do euro CAD. Sometimes I'll do New Zealand CAD. My reasoning for that is that for some reason, the Canadian dollar stuck out to me in all my back testing more than anything else. So then I continued to back test them more than anything else, like extensively. And what I found is that the 61.8 Fibonacci just works so well. And I said this on the Clubhouse meeting before, like I thought it just seems like all the banks and institutions and hedge funds in Canada set their fibs up to 61.8, like on their algorithms, because it just works so well with all the Canadian pairs.
And what would you say your least profitable pairs are?
I've quit trading them. I would say the pound New Zealand and the euro New Zealand. That's when I was like trading like all 27 major minors and crosses. But I've brought that list down to like a good 7 or 8 now, and I've eliminated New Zealand crosses. I trade the New Zealand CAD, but that's because it's against the Canadian. Other than that, I got rid of all the New Zealand pairs other than that one.
Are you keeping track of all this data?
Yeah, I go to MT4 and then I create a detailed report, and then I'll move all of that data into a Google Sheet, and then I can extract whatever data I want out of it, like what's my most successful session, what's my most successful pair, things like that. And what I'm doing now is like I've gotten a lot better about doing that the last few months, and I'm going to keep doing it, God willing, until, let's say, I trade consistently and profitably, like till the end of the year. Then I'll have like 12 months of like incredibly solid data, and then just start extracting.
Would you say that your trading performance has gotten better since you started logging all this data?
Yeah, because it holds me accountable. Like when I know that I have to go and document this, I don't want to be documenting big losses. I don't want to be documenting 100 trades a day. It's a lot more work, and it's like now it's on paper. It makes it feel official. It makes it feel like someone's watching me. So I try to do it well.
And do you use any fundamentals in your analysis?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on Daily FX every single day. They're really good. They're like, I think they're the creators of IG, or Daily FX was created by IG, which is a Forex broker. I think other than like Owanda, they're like, or Owanda, they're like the second biggest Forex broker in the US or something. And they post articles every day. They have weekly webinars. So I keep up to date with all the economic releases, with all the geopolitical stuff going on with Russia and Ukraine, because I do think it plays a role. I know a lot of people don't like fundamentals, or think like everything is priced into the charts or what have you, and I do believe like most of it is priced in, but I also do believe that the fundamentals do impact the price. Like banks make purchases of these currencies based on what's happening in the world. So I should definitely be up to date about what's happening in the world.
And do you mind giving us a quick insight into your strategy?
Sure.
All right, cool. Let's hop on the charts.
Yeah, so this right here is a trade that I took last night on gold, and just very simple, just a break of horizontal resistance, break of trend resistance coming from the uptrend. I took it immediately here, like on the 1 minute chart. All the way down here, it like quadruple bottomed. So, and then I saw this, boom, it just tapped me in, and it took off. Unfortunately, though, stopped me out at break even right here, and then took off to my take profit. But it's part of the game. It happens. The way I found it, like on a higher time frame, I always do multiple time frame analysis. Is just literally on the daily chart. We're in an uptrend, so I drew the fib. Tapped to 61, went bullish here. So this is a bullish engulfing basically, closed bullish. So I just thought we'd continue the uptrend. So, and retest the highs that we made last week. So it was a solid trade. I think I got out with like, I don't know, like $1,000. I would have made 5 if it continued, but it just came back. I subbed out at 1913, moved it to 1910, then 1913. And then it went off. So, and then basically how I trade is just trend, Fibonacci levels, channels, very, very simple. Basically all the basic concepts of technical analysis combined into one. That's what I trade. I don't do like supply and demand and a lot of other things that there's a lot of strategies out there. I just stick to what I know and keep it simple. So, and this is my trading view. See channels, support and resistance. I literally say right here, like buy support, sell resistance. That's what I say in my bio. Like that's what the markets are. They just bounce off of these levels. So channels, support and resistance, fib levels. That's all pretty simple. I go here for fundamentals. I go on Daily FX. I read different articles, oil, US dollar, euro. They post analysis about everything. And you can take a look at the news here any time of the day, and they're updating it every single day, just articles nonstop. Like all these articles are from this morning. So this is the best place to get fundamentals. It even tells you right here, like their client data. So on the euro, 69% of people are net long right now. And IG usually takes like a contrarian view. So if most people are long on the euro, they think the euro is going to continue down because most people are wrong most of the time. But I don't trade like based off of that. I just trade based on the fundamentals of like what's actually happening across the world, and then what I see in the technicals.
What tips would you give to our viewers at home about trading strategy similar to yours?
About trading a strategy similar to mine?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the most robust. Like I've seen people like post charts where it's just like one box, and I'm like okay, like I understand you think it's going long, but that chart doesn't really tell me anything. For me personally, I don't care if people use indicators or if they trade naked charts. Like I'm not like competing with anyone, but you'll see people like say, oh, indicators are lagging, whatever. Like I use moving averages sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's just whatever works. And when I'm like putting money on the line, I want to feel comfortable about the trade that I'm taking. And if I draw just like one line on the chart or one box, no, I don't feel comfortable about that. Like I want to have like 6 or 7 reasons for why I should be in the trade. So, I'll draw the channels, I'll draw the fibs, I'll draw support and resistance. I'll come look at what's happening around the world so that I can feel comfortable about putting money on the line.
What would you say your main confirmations are when looking for a trade?
Any price action pattern at a significant level. So like if it's an uptrend and I saw that, like for example, on my gold trade right here, this just broke this resistance right here. You got 1 tap, you got 2 tap, you got a solid break. If false breakout right here, came back in, then tested it again. When it broke out right here, it tested, but I decided to take it from down here because I was pretty certain that it was going to take off from here. Probably like 65%, obviously nothing certain, but just because of the countless rejections. So if I see something constantly rejecting, then I see momentum, then I know like, hey, this is a good level. Like this is, the banks are interested, people are interested. This level might continue to go up. So I'm always looking for rejection before I take a trade.
And what would you say your average risk to reward is for trades like these?
My average risk reward, I would say, falls right around like 1 to 3. I'm trying to get it to 1 to 4 ideally. My stats on the dashboard say 1 to 1.7. I think it's 1.7 or something like that. But that those numbers are skewed because the dashboard counts like a break-even trade if I only got $100. And I move the trade to break even and it only closes out at $100 profit. It counts that as a win. But that's not a win. That's a break even trade. So about 1 to 3 right now, trying to get it up to 1 to 4 so that I can have less stress, have to win less in order to make the same amount or more.
And on average, how many setups do you think you're getting a week?
Oh, I can get several. Ideally, like what I wish I was doing perfectly is taking 2 trades a day, 10 trades a week. So that's about 40. That's 40 trades a month. I want to take 1 pre-London and then go to sleep. I'm on Central Time. So I want to take one like at 10, 11 p.m., a couple hours before London open. And then I want to be able to take 1 New York session. Obviously, I'm not a robot and I'm not a perfect trader. So I don't follow that, but like ideally, that's how I would like to go. But as far as my strategy is concerned, since I have so many things that I look at a chart for, just always trading with the trend, trading at levels, looking for broken levels. I can find several. I can find a trade every day for sure.
And what would you say your average win rate is?
Win rate is right now, I think like at 38%. Which is solid. Like on my dashboard, I think it says like 43%, but I'm going to shave off like 5 or 10% off of that because of like all the break evens that it's counting as wins. So I would say a good 35. That's what I'm looking at right now.
And so this leads me into my final question. Long term, what do you believe the funded trader will do for the industry?
I think if it continues on this trajectory, it's going to really disrupt. I mean, like Angela was saying yesterday, just the kind of things you guys like and how far you've come in just 9 months is pretty incredible. And how you guys are the first to have the 400K accounts, like no one's done that, or like none of the firms that I'd like to trade with, the ones that are just like very basic rules and like kind of mimic FTMO, what have you. That's what I like is like these types of trading conditions. And then you guys were the first to do the 400K challenge. The challenges are really affordable, always coming with the discounts. strong community in the Discord. So I just feel like this is going to be here long term. So you guys continue making the improvements that you're making, trying to compete, and doing the best you can. I think the Funded Trader is here for the long term, and definitely going to change several people's lives. And I hope I'm included in that. So that's kind of my goal. I mean, I have a long-term vision with TFT. So I'm banking on it. So I'm trading this. I'm 45 days away from 90 days consistency on this account. I would be at the 25% scale up, 90% profit split, which I was doing the math. It makes a significant, like huge difference. Like the 15% that I'm up this month, if I made that 45 days from now on 125K with a 90% profit split, I would make an extra 5K in my pocket a month, because you're making 25% more profits and getting 10% more of the payout. And it literally, your payout increases by like 25, 30%, right? Because your account is bigger, 25%, and the profit split is bigger. So it's just, honestly, I'm just trying to focus on that right now. I'll focus on challenges and everything down the road, but I just want to do this consistently for another couple months, get paid out, just keep it going. So that's what I'm hoping for. I don't want it to just be a one and done. So I'm really happy, that I got paid out and was successful this past week, and I'm getting a bi-weekly payout on this upcoming Monday. I'm going to request withdraw 15K, going to get 80% of that. So I think things are just looking really good right now. And I just pray to God that it continues and that I can follow rules better and manage my risk the way I've been doing. And hopefully it's just on the up and up from here.
And with all that being said, Fadi, I want to thank you for coming on once again. It's been great having you and hearing your story. And we should definitely do an update on you in the future once everything gets scaled up with you,
Yeah, I hope so, man. I'm looking forward to it, Adam. I appreciate your time.
Gotcha. And where can everyone find you on social? I'll be sure to drop the links down in the description.
Yeah, my YouTube is Fibonacci God. I don't really have any videos posted, but I might start going live there for like New York and London sessions, just to kind of like feel like I'm trading with someone else instead of just trading by myself. And also my Instagram is the Fibonacci God. I don't really post there, but if you message me, I'll probably reply. I'll probably like get to it. I don't get on Instagram often though. But yeah, man, I love communicating and connecting with traders. It's a big world out there.
All right, Fadi. Cheers.
Hey man, good to see you, Adam. We'll talk soon.